Where was Janelle?
2000. Can you check one?
The never-before-seen body cam video is about 30 minutes long and shows the initial arrest of Donald Neely, who was handcuffed and tethered to a rope.
Let's go walk.
And then walked down the streets of Galveston by two police officers on horseback. The image of the controversial August arrest sparking outrage and charges of racism. Instead of sending for a police car, the officers walked Neely to the station. One officer can be heard acknowledging how it looked.
It's gonna look so bad.
We have covered a wide range of videos to display the roots of protest in the NFL that led to the exile of the pioneer and attempts at silencing men like Kenny Stills. America has always had problems with racism. The country was never great, and examples continue to pop up to support this notion. In Galveston, Texas, body cam footage has been released of another injustice.
It's gonna look really bad.
Police in Galveston, Texas, who've already apologized to the man you see here being taken into custody, are now releasing police body camera video of this August 3rd arrest that many are calling shameful. More than once, you hear the officers on horseback talk about how this is going to look as they tie a rope to the hands of their black suspect and march him through city streets.
It's gonna look so bad. I'm glad you're not embarrassed, Mr. Neely.
Donald Neely, a homeless black man in the area who had been living on the streets since 2016, was accused of criminal trespassing. He is mentally ill, diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I wasn't embarrassed walking between the horses until I seen the video, he said. It came back and hurt me because I did not know I was getting video recorded by the public. Now I feel embarrassed.
Creating a scene that many find racially offensive.
Stay next to me, because I'm going to drag you if not. You have to stay next to me.
After nearly half an hour, a squad car finally arrives to take Neely to jail.
Quite a parallel between, for example, two quarterbacks. Take Chad Kelly. He criminally trespassed while with the Denver Broncos, actually entering the home he trespassed, sitting on the couch next to a resident. Might find this shocking, but he wasn't taken by cops on horseback with a rope and shamed through town. He actually continued to be employed by the NFL. Meanwhile, the man who brought to light the polar opposite treatment of black and white people in this country denied entry to an establishment he once dominated. You see, if a black person trespasses, the police have every right to go back to the good old days, MAGA country. The police chief, Vernon Hale, said the officers did a good job of keeping Neely calm during the process. No matter how an officer tries to defuse the situation, what's unacceptable is violating basic human rights. There is no atonement to be granted with this walk, just shame, an overwhelming feeling of unease and discomfort at the highest degree, feeling less like a man and more like a slave. For the record, The Guardian reported Officer Patrick Broche can be heard asking Officer Amanda Smith if she should go get their truck so they will not have to make Neely walk. Smith says their sergeant would not approve of the officers separating. If this allegation is true, an investigation must be launched as to why the precinct denied a car escort to Neely.
It's gonna look so bad. I'm glad you're not embarrassed, Mr. Neely.
All this because a man who is homeless wanted a quiet place to sleep with a roof over his head. Police Chief Hale said this technique of transportation during arrest was immediately suspended. Why was it ever put in place, guys? Police brutality was the root of Colin Kaepernick's protest. I ponder, would this lasting image from the Galveston Police Department be put in place if Neely were a white man? Or would these officers employ the same techniques? Although slavery may have been abolished, the crippling poison of racism still persists, and the struggle still continues.